All right, welcome everyone again to the first webinar in 2018. My name is James from Rearview Safety. Today we're going to be looking at the latest in vehicle safety solutions and just a couple more things to end off as well. For those of you familiar with webinars, I'll be presenting and the only one able to speak, but you guys can use the chat. There's a chat on the bottom left, or on the left side of the screen, where you can comment, ask questions, let me know how it's doing. Really love interaction, and all questions are very welcome, so please, first of all, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see the welcome screen. It should say RVS Webinar Series, and we'll begin in just a second. Alright. Seems like everything's working, so that's good. Awesome. Let's get right into it then. We do these webinars once every 2 months. So this is the first one of 2018, and let's get right into it. First thing we're going to look at is a couple new products that we recently launched pretty much in the past couple months, maybe a month or two, beginning of 2018, starting with the RVS 3710-DVR. This is a monitor with a built-in DVR, so it's a really cool kind of all-in-one system. It allows you to connect 4 cameras. It's a 4-channel system, and it's also split screen, which means that you can view all 4 cameras that you connect at once. It also has a bunch of different viewing options where you can view, obviously one at a time, full screen, some other options in between as well. Cool thing about this monitor is that it has a built-in DVR, so all camera feeds connected to this monitor will be recorded. So in addition to the driver being able to see the view from the cameras, which will help in real time, you'll also be able to record all footage. Great for fleets, great for any time you want to record footage, to dispute accidents, or just to make sure you have a recording of what's happening on the road to your drivers. It comes with a GPS module as well, so you can connect the GPS to this monitor. There's like a little screw on the back for it, and that way you can record the vehicle speed and location together with the footage. So it'll give you the longitude and latitude and the vehicle speed together with the recorded footage. It records onto an SD card, so there's an SD card slot on the back of the other display, and it holds SD cards up to 128 gigabytes. 128 gig will give you about a week's worth of footage. It'll give you about 70 or to 100 hours of footage. So depending on the quality of the cameras that you connect, or also the amount of cameras, will determine how many hours you get recording. But probably about a week's of recording. Let's say you drive 10 hours a day with 10 hours of recording. It also has a built-in G-sensor and event recording. Really cool feature, pretty much standard in recording systems nowadays, and that is that it can recognize vehicle movement basically. So any impacts and unusual movement will be, so to speak, flagged as an event, and that footage will be override protected. So first of all, the way the recording usually works is that it loop records. So that footage that's regularly recorded will get overridden eventually. In other words, you'll have a week of recording, and then once the SD card is full, the system will loop over and start recording over the oldest footage. So what event recording does is that the video files associated with the event will be saved in a special folder. It'll be called like an event folder on the SD card, which will allow it to make sure that it's not overridden through loop recording, and also you'll be able to find those videos very quickly when you pull out the SD card to look through the footage. So the basic idea is that the system is on the whole time, recording the whole time. If something happens, you can very easily access that footage through the event recording. It's also a touch screen display, so very easy to navigate. It has buttons on the bottom, as you see, but you can also navigate very easily through the settings and menu simply by touching the screen. Also actually has an option to plug in a mouse. which you can use very easily to go through the settings and the navigation of the system. Supports pretty high quality cameras. So AHD cameras are analog HD cameras. The resolution is 1280 by 720p. So pretty high definition cameras. It can handle 4 of those cameras. So good enough to record license plates and street signs. We have a number of HD cameras. We have a backup camera or two that's analog HD and some new side cameras. So you can connect those cameras as well as all our regular cameras to the system. It has the capacity to handle the analog HD cameras. Moving right along, we have another similar item that we recently released, and that is a 9-inch, 6-channel monitor with a built-in DVR. So very similar to the previous one, except it's a little larger. It has 2 more channels, so you can connect 6 cameras to this. Again, it has that built-in DVR. So it can record all footage from all the cameras connected. You can view all cameras at the same time, or it has a bunch of different viewing options. 4-screen, 6-screen. You can view one at a time, full screen, of course. GPS, it comes with a GPS module as well, so you can record speed and location just like the previous one. It records onto SD cards, but this one actually has a slot for 2 SD cards, each one with the capacity of 128 gig. So this will give you a total of 256 gig of recording capacity, which is around, let's say, 2 weeks of recording at, let's say, 10 hours a day. Also comes with that built-in G sensor and event recording. You'll be able to easily locate files associated with accidents, impacts. Also a touchscreen, and also does support the AHD cameras, 1280 by 720p resolution. So pretty similar to the other one. Really cool new monitors which come with the built-in DVRs, and where you're able to view and record footage at the same time. In general, we are focusing a lot on mobile video recording, especially this year. So you guys might be familiar with our Mobile Mule line of DVRs. Difference here is these monitors with the built-in DVRs have slightly less features. So they're not going to have a lot of the trigger functions and alarms that the Mobile Mules have. So if you want like a more kind of robust like fleet management solution, you can look at the Mobile Mules. These are more like an all-in-one, much easier to install, kind of basic recording systems. Before we move on, any questions on these 2 new monitor displays? Cost. That's a solid question. 3710 retail price is $450. And the 9060, let me just make sure I have the price correct, is $800 regularly. The 9060, actually, I just forgot to mention, is actually the product of the month this month. So we're actually selling it at a $100 discount, retail price. So retail is actually $700 for the remainder of February. Is there a lock on the SD card? Great question. There is a lock on the SD card. It comes with a little kind of flap that goes over the SD card, or the 2 SD card slots, so that you can just lock to make sure that drivers don't tamper with the footage or take out the SD cards. Raul asks, can we remote view the video? No, so there's not going to be any remote viewing options, any Wi-Fi or 3G connectivity with these. It's more basic. If you want to, access the footage, you'll have to just take out the SD card itself. With a key, yes. So there's a lock with a key. You lock the flap over the SD cards with a key, and then you can, take that key. You won't be able to access the SD card. Where are the cameras connected? Sorry. So the systems come with a power harness. There's like a plug that plugs into the back of them that connects to power, and then it also comes with a harness that has either the 4 camera inputs or the 6 camera inputs, and that's where the cameras connect to. So basically, if you want to purchase this with cameras, the monitors come with the power harnesses and the cable connections. So all you need is this model number together with some cameras. That's a whole system right there, because we sell the cameras together with the cables. So we can, very easily make this into a system. Delayed power off. That's a very good question. I'm not sure about that one actually. I feel like it may not have that function. Like I said, most of the kind of advanced DVR functions will be still, best for our mobile mule series. These are more basic. It is possible it does have it though, and I'll definitely find out and let you know about that. To clarify, the 9060 is $450 or $700. The 9060 is the $800 regular retail cost. The 9060 is actually on sale now for $700. It's $100 off. The 3070 is the $450 one. So the 3070 is $450 retail. 9060 regularly $800, now is $700. Okay, just a quick heads up before we continue. I see some people asking questions through the question and answer. There's like an option to submit a question. It's best to answer questions directly from the chat. That way I'll make sure to see them. But Mike asked, can I return it if I buy it and don't like it? Absolutely. So we have a 30-day return policy. We call it our buy and try policy. What it means is that you can, not only can you buy it and return it unopened, you can open it, you can even install it. Don't like it, take it out, send it back, we'll give you a full refund. So we're that confident in our products. Are there any other ways other than touchscreen to navigate the menu? Jeffrey asked. So you can navigate through either the touchscreen or you can connect a USB mouse into the device to navigate the menu. There are button options which will give you some of the functions from the settings, like changing screens and screen layouts, but to access a full menu, you'll have to either use a touchscreen or a mouse. Okay, moving right along. The last new product that I wanted to speak about were the waterproof sensor systems. So there were two new waterproof sensor systems that we recently released, the 112W and the 115W. Those of you familiar with our products probably know the 112 and the 115. They're sensor systems that we've had in our catalog for a number of years already. These new systems, what we did is we updated them a little bit, and we made the cabling and the modules completely waterproof for them. So the way sensor systems used to work is that you would mount the sensors in the bumper. Obviously they're waterproof, but then the cabling and the module is not waterproof, and they would usually have to be, ran inside, module mounted somewhere inside, so it's protected from the elements. What's cool about this is, these two new systems is that all the cabling and the module is completely waterproof, IP67 rating. You can run it all outside, mount the module outside. It's a much easier install, and it makes things a lot easier if you're not able to get inside your vehicle. The difference between the 112 and the 115. So they both have the 4 sensors. They both have an 8-foot detection distance, and like I said, the waterproof module and cabling. The 112 is a system that can connect to our camera systems. So what it allows you to do is run the same cabling. It kind of there's like an adapter that allows you to connect at the back of the vehicle these sensors into the camera cable, and then the one camera cable can run through the vehicle and carry both the sensor information and the camera feeds. And that way on the monitor in your dash, you can see the camera view, see the distance to obstacles behind you, also get an audio alert from obstacles behind your vehicle. So you get all the information from the sensors and the cameras kind of all integrated together. The 115 is an independent sensor system, so it runs a cable by itself through the vehicle, has a little display that you mount on the dash, and that will display you it'll show you the distance behind you to obstacles. It'll also give you audio alerts from obstacles. So it's kind of an independent system. But the upgrade about them is that the module and cabling is all waterproof. Do grid lines, guidelines display when the 112 is connected? A really good question. I believe they do. Let me just check that actually. I'm pretty sure we have it on our website, so I'm just going to check that real quick. I'm pretty sure it displays you grid lines from the camera. Also will display you distance from the sensors. One sec. Okay, I'm actually not sure. It doesn't say whether it displays both. I'll look into that. I'll get back to you. I believe it does. I believe it shows you both the distance grid lines from the backup camera and the distance from the sensors themselves. So it'll give you, amount in feet to obstacles behind you. Can you use only 2 sensors for smaller vehicles? Yes, I believe so. I don't think you need to use all the 4 sensors. I'm fairly sure you can use just 2 of them, and it'll only display, obviously 2 warning icons on the monitor. All these questions, by the way, if I don't have the answer to them, our tech team definitely does, and you can either get in touch with me right after the webinar or get in touch with them. We'll be able to get you any answer to any question you have here. Front sensor capable, so you can really mount these to the front of the vehicle. Front sensors are usually designed a little bit differently so that they're not on the whole time, because you don't usually want that beeping every time you creep up to a vehicle in front of you. Again, you can get in touch with us afterwards, see the best way to do that. Will be possible, but might take a little bit of configuring. Alright, moving right along. Actually, before we get there, there's a couple more systems that we did add recently that I didn't put in this webinar just because I didn't want to run out of time, but we have a couple new BlackViews. They're pretty straightforward systems. We have a couple new BlackViews, some new side cameras that we recently launched, and a bunch of other stuff. You can actually see on our shop page, you can see newly released products. And of course, again, if you want to see a full list of newly released products, you can get in touch with me right after the webinar. I'll send you those over. FMVSS 111. So as a lot of you might be aware, there's a new rule that's becoming implemented, or that's becoming mandatory starting May 1st of this year. And that is basically a minimum view requirement behind vehicles under 10,000 pounds. So vehicles that are manufactured on or after May 1st of this year will require a certain viewing amount to be seen by the driver behind the vehicle. So most of our camera systems will make sure that your vehicle is compliant with this new rule. You just have to make sure that the cameras are mounted correctly. Usually it has to be fairly high up on the vehicle, mounted in the center. The way you determine whether your vehicle is compliant is a little bit complicated. You need like a certain mat with these cones, as you see in that image right there. And then if the camera view basically, if in the camera view you're able to see a certain amount of those cones and mat, you know your vehicle is compliant. So we're definitely here to help you with this. We have 2 techs here that basically know everything there is to know about this new rule. So if you have any questions, we can definitely help you make sure your vehicle is compliant. Will you offer the mat? At this time, I don't think we do have a mat that we offer. You can get it directly from, I believe the NTEA has a mat that they sell. There's probably some others that might have it. We don't offer one at the moment. Like the 360 system, similar. I guess you're talking about like the calibration for the 360 system. So it's a bit of so it's a similar idea. The only difference is it's not going to be around the whole vehicle, it'll just be behind the vehicle. So you'll kind of put down this mat and the cones, check whether the camera view, covers what it needs to. We actually did manufacture 2 new cameras specifically for this new compliance rule. So like I mentioned, most of our cameras, our standard cameras, will be automatically compliant. It just makes a difference where you mount them. These new ones are basically compliant no matter where you mount them. So the Sprinter backup camera obviously is mounted in the same place, on the top of the Sprinter, right in the middle, and that new camera is compliant with the new rule. The flash mount camera, we designed it, we made an update to it so that even when it's mounted really low on a vehicle, so like 4 inches off the ground, will still allow your vehicle to be compliant. It also has I think a 24-inch kind of leeway for the center of the vehicle, so it doesn't have to be mounted right in the center of the vehicle. So we did manufacture these new cameras to help out with the compliance. But like I said, you can ask us any questions, and we'll definitely help make sure your vehicles are compliant with this new rule. NTEA 2018, in about 1 month from now, there is a work truck show in Indianapolis. Rearview Safety has been there for, I think, around 7 years now. So we'll have a booth there again this year. We'd love to see you guys. You can definitely come by, visit us at booth 324. SafeFleet, which is our parent company, is also going to be there, and they will be at booth 921, so you can definitely give them a visit also. We also will be able to get you a free pass. The NTA offers free pass using our promo code that you see there on the screen, WT415. That will, together with some paperwork, allow you to get a free pass to the show. So if you are interested in that, we can give us a call or request that. We'll send you over that paperwork, and you just need that promo code, and you'll be able to get a free pass to the show. So that's pretty cool also. I can put in a link actually to the to a video that we made for last year's show. You can take a look at that, and it's coming up as Tyler. I'm sorry, my name is James. And yeah, see what happened last year at the show, and definitely come visit us this year. And that is gonna be pretty much it for today. Before you log off, first of all, we'll have just a general kind of question and answer session. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat right now. It could be about the webinar, or it could just be general questions that you were wanting to ask. Also, I'm going to run a poll very quickly. Just would, if you have a minute to fill that out, or just choose the answer that fits you best, about what you would like to see in future webinars. We're definitely doing this obviously for you, so we'll try to keep it what you guys want. If there's something that we didn't include there, I should have put like an other option, but you can just put in the chat if there's another topic that you'd be more interested in. That music. Vehicle interfacing. Alrighty. Adan, or Aiden, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, sorry. What did you mean by vehicle interfacing? Okay, so that is basically it for today's webinar. Like I said, we'll do these every 2 months, so you'll see us again. What is 2 months from February? April. Beginning of April, you'll see a new webinar. I'll be online for another couple minutes just answering any questions. Thank you all for joining. Front sensors, front cameras. I have customers asking for front mounted cameras. Craig, we do have a bunch of forward-facing cameras. So cameras that are designed specifically for forward-facing. You can get in touch with me afterwards. I can send you a list of the ones that we do have. We also do have a dedicated front sensor system. So yeah, we definitely do have options for that. Oh, so Adam, with regards to vehicle interfacing. So a lot of vehicles, when they have inbuilt displays, inbuilt dash displays, a lot of them have RCA options or inputs where you can simply add a backup camera. Some vehicles will have that input, but then Will only allow the backup camera to display with programming. It really just depends on the vehicle type. So for pickup trucks, for example, a lot of them need like an OBD programmer to be able to see a backup camera. So we offer that. If your vehicle, needs programming to see the backup camera, we have OBDs that we can offer. For the Sprinter, I actually don't know offhand, what's necessary to get a backup camera to show on the inbuilt display, but we do have options for most vehicles, most cargo vans for sure. Sprinter, I think we do have an option for as well. But again, you can shoot me a question afterwards. I'll get you all the information on that. No screen view. Pablo, I'm not sure what that question means, to be honest. Okay, so I'm just going to close this poll here. Do you broadcast your presentation view? I'm still not sure what you mean. If you're talking about the webinar right now, we do. It's all being recorded, and we'll definitely send the recording to all the attendees, so you can definitely review it, take a look at it, and yeah, I'll be logging off in just a second here. Oh, one more question here by Jerry. What is your email for future questions? My email is jamesg@rearviewsafety.com. So that's JAMESG@rearviewsafety.com. You can also just email any one of our emails, customer service or info, for any questions. But mine is jamesg@rearviewsafety. Okay, thank you everyone for joining. We will see you back in 2 months.